What is up, everybody? Bandit and Chad here for another Taco Tuesday. So we're thinking about planning the next mod here for these trucks, and we wanted to get your all's opinion.
Yeah, so do you guys want to see a skid plate? Do you want to see an intake, an exhaust? I mean, we're up for anything as long as it's within a reasonable budget. You know, we're using YouTube money for these modifications, so we need something that's not exactly breaking the bank.
Exactly. So we do have a couple $100s that we could potentially spend, and it doesn't even have to be a direct modification to the truck. It could be some kind of off-road gear that you want to see tested out, say a traction board like a Max Track or something like that. You know, I think it is kind of an interesting idea. I've personally never used one, and I don't think you have either. But you know, it could possibly be a good idea if you're stuck. It will get you out a good bit quicker than a winch or something like that. But we really are open. You know, whatever you all want to see, we'll do a poll exactly like we did last time, and whichever modification gets the most votes wins. If you do recall, the last modification that we did was my new grill, and it is holding up really well. I do think it really changes the look of the truck, and if you are interested in the grill, be sure and check that video out as well. So in the last poll that we did about the modifications you all want to see on my truck or on Chad's truck, a lot of you all said wheels and tires. I agree. I would love to see wheels and tires on my truck. Unfortunately, wheels and tires are a fairly costly modification, and apart from a couple small scratches on mine, there's not really anything wrong with our wheels and tires. You know, they might not be as aggressive of tires as we were hoping for, but there's not really anything wrong with them. So what I'm going to try to do is wear them out. And from the beginning, what I've been telling you all is I definitely want to leave my truck stock for 1 year. You know, past that 1 year, we'll start making modifications, but I want to go on as many adventures, as many off-road trips, and everything as we can with these trucks in a year, completely stock. That way, you know, people buying these trucks or looking to buy these trucks know what they're getting into when they sign those papers. So another thing we noticed, it's been really rainy down here at school, and so we've had the wipers on a lot, and when the wipers are on the intermittent setting, there is kind of an electronic clicking sound.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure what that is it's like the electronic system timing it off. You know, when you hear that click, that's when the wipers are engaged. So every time, it's not really resetting it or anything, but it's just timing it off every time it goes. Right,
and you know, this isn't on the low speed or the high speed setting for the wipers. It's just on the intermittent setting, at least as far as we've noticed. But you know, I don't think it's too big of an issue. I was in a couple other cars that weren't Toyota trucks recently, and they made the same sort of noise. So I think everything's fine with that, and it's nothing to be worried about, but it's just something to put on your all's radar.
So as far as truck news goes, it seems that recent political moves have pushed for GM to invest $1 billion in the United States. So we are going to have more vehicle manufacturing within our own borders versus outside of the states.
Right. In other truck news this week, it looks like we are getting closer to seeing a production version of the new Ram heavy-duty lineup. So there was a facelift that was heavily camouflaged spied on actually a last generation Power Wagon, which I thought was an interesting choice to display that, but nonetheless, it looks like we are getting closer to that. Also, the Jeep Compass looks like we're getting closer to being able to drive one of those. And the MPG figures for this vehicle are actually pretty good. So with the four-wheel drive version and the 2.4 liter Tiger Shark motor, which is in a lot of the Fiat Chrysler vehicles, you're getting 22 miles per gallon in the city and about 30 on the highway, which seems to me like it's a really, really good set of numbers there. It looks a lot like the new Grand Cherokee if you haven't seen it, but the actual size of it is somewhere between the normal Jeep Cherokee and the Jeep Renegade. So, you know, kind of a small to mid-size SUV, and it should be a good seller for them. Also, the Nissan Titan won Truck Trend's Truck of the Year. That was going up against the new Raptor and everything else, but they said that as an overall everyday truck, that they were really impressed with this new Nissan Titan. Now, this wasn't the Titan XD with the 5-liter Cummins V8. It was just the standard gas V8 with the 7-speed automatic, but they said just for an everyday truck, it was definitely a good contender, and like I said, it did win their award this year. So that pretty much wraps up everything we have to tell you all for this week. Again, if you have any ideas about what you would like to see us get next for the channel or for the trucks, be sure and leave that in the comments below. We'll be sure and reveal that to you all here in the coming weeks, and I'm really excited about it. I'm sure Chad is too. So thank you all for tuning in. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Catch you next time.
See ya.